I graduated ESM in 1993, and my first year of teaching was 1999.
Okay, so I graduated in 2005. I went into teaching because my sister was in elementary school, and I got to visit her classroom over my winter break, and I decided that that's what I wanted to do, so I changed my major.
Yes, I am an East Syracuse Minoa graduate, class of 1971. You can do the math. Why did I go into it? Because I like education, I like working with students, and library just seemed to fit. I like books.
I graduated from ESM in 1978, and I am a teaching assistant, and I actually was going into public relations. That was my degree. And after I had children, I realized that teaching would be a better fit for me, and I came back to the district that I love.
I actually had a half-year position at FM that I got right out of college, and I worked there for half a year, finished that year, and I started September 1999 here.
1985, I started teaching in Kinney Street, which is now East Syracuse Elementary, because Kinney Street was torn down and they built a new building. Okay.
A ton. Where I'm sitting right now used to be grass. This entire G wing wasn't there. Half of the B wing wasn't there. We only had one gym. So, yep, the parking lot where most of you guys park was dirt, and it was stone and had potholes in it the size of you, so that people didn't drive fast. So yeah, the physical buildings changed a lot.
Yes, and this whole wing is all new from when I was here.
You were a student at ESM.
Oh yeah, it certainly has. While I was here, we went through a big renovation, added on G-wing, added on a small gym, improved the fields. It was a lot smaller when I was here.
As a student, lots. Just ask anybody about the 1993 Senior Variety Show, and you'll get a couple of smirks. Go ask Mr. Ferris about that one. You can also ask Mr. Culhane about the 93 Senior Variety Show. That was the most fun I've ever had. I also met my future wife here. That was a great thing. My brother and I both went here. We were in the same school together. I played baseball for Mr. Becker and Mr. Taylor. Had a lot of fun times here. Met a lot of good friends.
And as a teacher?
As a teacher, yeah, this place is a great place to work. ESM is a very good place. In fact, I like ESM so much that even though I live in Cicero, and I know this is probably a future question for you, but even though I live in Cicero, I choose to bring my kids here. I believe in the teachers that work here. I believe in this district, and I want my kids to go here. So yes, I have a lot of positive things to say about this district. Are there things that aren't positive? Sure, but that's everywhere. The positives far outweigh the negatives.
Well, when I was a student, I played different sports. So I did cross country and lacrosse. So those are my favorite, was being on the team. And do I have a favorite memory? Well, my favorite memory of being a teacher is just like the day I got hired. That was my favorite day.
I just remember, I didn't do much until my senior year, but my senior year I had a lot of fun. We were able to build bonfires out there and dances and the senior variety show, and I just took all what I could out of our senior year and enjoyed it.
And what's your favorite part about working here as the assistant to the athletic director?
I love my boss. And it's I love the different sports. I love how every season's different, and it's just very much involved. I love all the kids that are involved, and they see me, and hopefully they know they can always come in and talk if they need anything.
As a librarian, I don't know, but as a student, I was an exchange student to Switzerland one summer. That was pretty cool.
And what was that like?
Oh, it was nice, except for they all spoke German and I didn't. I had taken French, and my French was very bad, and I would try it, but people would just look at me like they all knew English, so it worked out. Oh, let's be honest. You guys are a lot ruder and mouthier than people in my generation ever were. And as far as physical, Girls never wore slacks. I don't think I ever wore slacks or blue jeans to school my entire 12 years. It just wasn't allowed.
I would have to say it hasn't, and that's one of the nice things about ESM is that people are very friendly. You, I know, having as a student, you're comfortable walking into a class. I see you in the hallway. There's another gentleman behind the other side of the camera. I've had him in class as well. Remembers my name, I remember his. There's that feeling of this is a good place to be, even of students who may start out not liking school, for whatever, that typical teenage kind of view. Usually by the time they become juniors and seniors, they realize this was a pretty darn good ride.
I don't know, it just seems, well, we had a huge class. My graduating class was over almost 300, so there was a lot more students in the building, I can honestly say that. And I don't know, I think the kids are just pretty much generally the same, it's just that we had a lot more here.
And working in athletics, have you seen any changes with how the athletics are run from the time you've been here?
No, they're pretty much the same. I see the coaches being more involved with the kids and trying to help the kids out even on outside the sports arena aspect and stuff.
I had a few of them. Mr. Sheldon was a great math teacher. I loved him. Mr. Collier was a great math teacher. My first really good teacher was Mr. Jody Manning, who's now the superintendent of BOCES. I wrote my college recommendation for him to get into college. Also, Mr. Culhane was one of my most favorite teachers ever. So there was a lot of people that I really liked at ESM, and that was one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to go into teaching, because a lot of teachers had a good influence on me in my life and made me a better person, so I wanted to try to do that for other people as well.
Oh my gosh, there were so many good ones. Well, I would say the most fun was Mr. Meltzer, who taught physics. Physics is very difficult, but he had a story, a personal story to go with every concept that he taught. And it was just great, because I can remember he said, if you put milk on your coffee, will it stay warmer or will it cool it down? Well, his theory was that once you put that fat on top of your coffee, it actually holds the heat in. So you think you're cooling it, but in the long run, you're insulating it.
I'd have to say Mr. Drypolter. He taught us English and journalism, and back then when I was in school, our class size was like, I think my graduating class was 464 people. So we had split sessions. As a sophomore, I came in at 10:30 and went to 4:30, and then the other students came in at regular time and left at regular time. But Mr. Drypolter was my teacher back then, and then when I came back to work here, he was my colleague, and he taught me a